listing or one sale leads to another, right? Well, I mean, it's kind of like a snowball. Anybody that knows me knows that I love 80s music. So that I also felt like it fit perfectly for this morning. So if you're back, welcome. Thank you for tagging along to make it to day number 2. We are going to talk about pre-approvals. I think this is a great first start because obviously that's the first start of your home buying process. So some people don't know that there are a few different options for financing. For example, there's your conventional buyers. There is FHA. There are USDA, VA loans. So those are like the top ones that we currently use in, good old Northeast Ohio. So what some people too don't understand of why it's important to get pre-approved before we go and start looking at homes that you might be interested in is some homes might not be FHA, USDA, VA approved. Why, you might ask? Well, FHA, for instance, like, let's just think something here. Peeling paint. FHA do not like peeling paint. So if there's peeling paint on the walls, ceilings, floors, windows, the outside of the house is painted and there's peeling paint there, they will not loan a home if it has peeling paint. Now, can you work up an agreement possibly with the seller to paint the house or paint the garage or paint anything that could be peeling? You could, but most likely they're going to want more money for it. But it can happen. I've had clients pay more money for somebody to paint it so they could still get the house. So I mean, it's happened. It's worked. It's done it. For instance, like USDA. Now, USDA is obviously a rural loan. So for Alliance, unless if you are literally on the edge of Alliance, you cannot get a USDA loan in Alliance. You can in Seabury, you can in Minerva, Homeworth, Salem, some parts Salem, some parts can. Can's a no-go, obviously. I honestly think Louisville is a little spotty too. So USDA has to be rural. And then VA has a lot more restrictions. So, for instance, they like, obviously safety is huge, just like for any home, but safety is a big thing for them. So they like, no cracks in the windows, or they are also big on the peeling paint. They're real big on handrails, uneven concrete floors for like if you're outside, like your patios or stuff, if it's really uneven, they don't like that either. So there's just a lot of things to take into consideration. Sorry, that might have been loud. I guess we'll figure that out. When it comes to pre-approval. So that's why it's like actually really important to know before we go on your search what you're pre-approved for. If you're conventional, USDA, FHA, VA, because then we can help narrow down those houses that are already eligible or potentially eligible that they might not know if they are eligible, so that we can get that house for you instead of we running you all over and we don't know what you're pre-approved for yet. And then, unfortunately, say you fall in love with this house and you go FHA and unfortunately there's something wrong with that, it can only go conventional or cash. Well, now your heart's broken and you're like, why did you let me do this? Why didn't we do the pre-approval first? Well, that is why it's crucial. And there are even certain banks that won't do certain loans. So, of course, us real estate agents have a lot of contacts in that world. I've got one familiar friend that I do love to use over in Salem. Can't say any names on here. But, yes, he is great and his team, and he does all kinds of different home loans. There is also called OFA loans, which he specializes in those too. And then I have some other friends at different places that do strictly land loans, if you want to do land loans. And then we have business loan people. I mean, there's just all kinds of different type of loans. So that's why it's really imperative and important to know what you're pre-approved for. And it's not that, sometimes they're like, oh, you just don't want to deal with me unless you know I'm pre-approved. No, that's not it. I will deal with you all day long. I love people. I love people. It's just I need to know what you're pre-approved for so that we can narrow down your search perfectly. So that's the TED Talk, the discussion in the Durango for the day. Mila's in the back. It's been a lot of bloopers. That's why you'll see it cut out and come back in today, because she's just not happy. But I appreciate you sticking around for day number 2, and I hope to see you soon.